we have here a very interesting and large-scale map of the world from the mid-19th century, done 1871 approximately is the imprint on it. It's a lithographed map with original hand color that is, the oceans are filled with tracks of various explorers. There are little annotations across the map. Things such as the Marquesas Islands were named Washington Islands, and the mutineers from the Bounty settled with their wives on Pitcairn's Island, and so on. We see that the dark line, the dark black line across the world, are the two major routes of traveling around the entire world. It actually cost either $1,100 or $985, depending if you went via Australia or Japan and China. In Australia, southern Australia, there is the hook for Lake Torrens, which is apocryphal and appears only briefly on a relatively limited number of maps. It's interesting because Australia has, when each section was colonized, and in the center of Africa, for instance, the Nile source is south of the equator, and so on, like so. The map appears here with original fold lines because it is folded up and appears inside of this wonderful guidebook here, Crofutt's Tourist, which was published in numerous editions. But this, it was revised annually, and this one here is the 6th volume with a 5th annual revision. It has this frontispiece here, a famous image, and a variant from the previous editions. This is the first edition that image appears in. It's a remarkable title page. It covers various sorts of topics, including summer resorts, government forts, yes, what's worth seeing, where to go, where to stop, and so on. 1874 is the imprint on this, and this index is extensive. It's got a series of these fold-out maps within it that are distinguished and worthy of note for all of the advertising that's often printed around and on the back of these folding maps. This first one here has all the rates on Pullman cars for sleeping, etc. This is interesting here. It's for Texas and the different lines. There are many of these woodcut illustrations throughout, as well as some of these smaller maps. There's full-page illustrations like so. And this map here, for instance, is now detached, but that's of no consequence. It can just be tipped back in if you desire. Look at this. This is very nice indeed. This is a large folding map of the Trans-Continental railroad route across the country, with ads for, look at this illustrated ad for that oil. And here's one for photographers in Yosemite right there. Yes, it's very nice right here, like so, and like so. Yes, Remington Works right there, sewing machines. And here we are. It continues on like this. Yeah. Okay, there's the Mormon Tabernacle in Salt Lake, and we get to this wonderful map here. Look at that. Omaha and Council Bluffs. Ha! Presidents of the Union Pacific Railroad. Look at this great plan here. Yes, a little train coming right across the bridge. And there is advertising on the back of the map. And here we are some more. There's some damp staining in places throughout, but it's never severe. Here is a wonderful early map of Salt Lake City in Utah with a detailed reference key. Here's Camp Douglas with the buildings right there for the U.S. military. Yeah, right there. That's very nice. And then, oh, look at that, Brigham Young's residence. Then we get to this map of Yosemite National Park. Next to that, advertisement for nickel watches. It's a great combination of cartography and advertising. Look at that, life protecting mask for firefighting. That's where the two lines met, and there's actually a albumin photo album that commemorates that. That's very sought after, and yeah, this is a great snapshot into 19th century American expansion westward. Manifest destiny and all of its aspects is clearly spelled out here. The map here, this large one, is a folding map. I'll turn it over to show you. On the back, there is this long old paper repair here and here to close this tear. There are a couple little tiny intersection splits. Somebody once put a little pin through the map when it was folded, so there's a couple of these little pinholes on some of the panels that, when you turn the map over, are almost invisible to the eye. The edges, like so, are trimmed narrow as issued, because this is the inset tab over here on the left. So, with any luck, this would fold up like so, and then again like so, and here, and then this is tipped in, or actually laid in loosely at the rear of this guidebook in its original cloth binding with gilt lettering on the front cover, stamped in blind. And this